Hello there, John the Bearded Vampire here. Welcome to another video. Hope you're all doing fine. This is a bit of a mental health one. I follow a channel called Toxic Tears, which is a channel run by a goth woman called Kayla. And years ago, she did a video more or less called What Not to Say to Goths, or Goth Chicks, or whatever. And she did like a follow-up of it at a different point of time. And in that she kind of just gave like little sentences of stuff that as a goth she has found she gets a lot of people saying to her. And I'm going to do a bit of a twist on that and talk about stuff that as a mental health sufferer I get a lot of people tell me or talk to me about. And these are things that you shouldn't do, not don't. You know, if you do, you know, it shows a little bit of care. It does show that you care, but you know, it's the same kind of topic that we hear time after time again. And to a certain extent, it's just we don't need to hear it. And like, for example, there's when you first come out of having a mental health issue, and when you first tell people about it, one of the things that they will say is, "But you're always happy," or "But you're always smiling." And that's like, and you know, it's just because we're kind of smiling or kind of putting across the image that we're happy doesn't mean to say that inside we're not being torn apart. Robin Williams said something I can't remember the exact phrase he said, but you know, he was a funny man, and as we've all learnt recently in the last couple of years since his death, he was suffering quite badly with depression. And he kind of said something along the lines of, you know, the funniest people are often the saddest because they don't want other people to feel how they feel. Obviously, he said it in a more unique and better term, but it's true. You know, sometimes the happiest people are the saddest. It's a mask that they put on, and it's because they don't want other people to feel how they are feeling. So yeah, your talk of, "But you're always happy or smiling," you know, that doesn't mean anything. It's a mask. It's a facade that we're putting on. It shows that you don't really know the person if you can't see past that, or if that's what you honestly thought that person was. If you honestly thought that person was happy and smiling all the time because they are happy and smiling all the time, then you know, it just shows that you can't be that much of a friend if you haven't noticed that they are suffering from depression. Another one is, "You'll snap out of it soon." It's a phase. Well, actually, that's two separate ones, but you know, "You'll snap out of it soon," implying that it is just a phase, implying that it's not a permanent thing, implying that it isn't anything serious. And then get to that, you get the other term of people telling you to snap out of it, as if they're like totally overriding your feelings and saying, look, just get on with it. And it doesn't make us as sufferers feel any better. I know quite a lot of my friends, do say, I hope you get better soon. Blah 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 blah. And I know sometimes, I know they do mean it, but it can be at the same time kind of patronising, as if to say, things can get better, things will get better. But when you're feeling like that, you don't feel like things are going to get better. So it just seems like people are just paying you lip service. Another one is, it's all in your head. It's a chemical imbalance, so yeah, it is in the head. Like, for example, with me suffering from schizophrenia, people will say, oh, you're just imagining it. Well, that is part of what schizophrenia is. It's all in your head, as in things aren't as bad as what it seems. Things aren't terrible. Things are good for you, but you can't see it. But when you're in that headspace of feeling depression and mental health, you don't know any better. You're not depressed or whatever because you're choosing to. It's because you can't think anything else. Which leads on to the next one of what you got to be sad about. If it was logical, if depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, mental health of any kind was logical, we wouldn't suffer from it. If it was logical, we'd be able to fix it. It's the illogic of it that makes you feel sad. You can have everything in the world. You can have a brilliant husband or wife. You can have kids. You can have a nice big house. You can have a nice car. You can have pets that adore you. You can have the best life there is. But if that chemical in your brain isn't working properly, then you're going to be depressed. And it's not like you deserve it. It's not like it makes sense. It's not a logical thing. It's weird, if you know what I mean. Just because you've got a good life doesn't mean to say that you can't be depressed. You can have the best of everything and still suffer from depression. You have the world begging at your feet and still suffer from depression. It's not what's the word? I can't think of the word. Words going out of my head. It's not logical. It doesn't work in conjunction with things. Same as the other side is, you can have the worst life possible. You can be homeless. You can have no money, no food, nothing, and you can be the happiest person alive. You can genuinely be amazingly happy if you have nothing. It doesn't. It's one doesn't necessarily mean the other, or the opposite of the other, or whatever. just because you do have it doesn't mean say you can't be depressed. Just because you don't have it doesn't say you can be depressed. You know, there's a term for it. There is a term for it, but I can't think what it is. It's been a long day. Another one, why are you depressed? That works in the whole kind of what you got to be sad about kind of thing. You know, it's I've just gone through that, so I won't go into detail about that one again. And then you got the it's just a phase, which works in conjunction with the you'll snap out of it soon kind of thing. Some people do think it's okay to tell people that something's just a phase, like fashion. You know, it's as if you've chosen to be depressed, you've chosen to have schizophrenia, you've chosen to suffer from anxiety because it's trendy or because it looked popular at the time. You know, it's not like that at all. You know, it's not a phase. You know, phases are kind of like fashions and faux pas and not faux pas, fads, fashions and fads and you know, stuff like that. When stuff comes in and out of seasons, you know, and they are phases. Mental health, you know, if mental health is a phase, my phase so far has lasted 25 years. That is not a phase, that is more than half my life. If anything, being normal is only a phase for my life. You know, it's as if they're kind of again, I've lost the words for it. It's as if it's not justified. You know, your feelings are justified, but saying it's just a phase, it's as if they're saying, you know, it's just a phase, it doesn't matter, you'll get over it, you'll snap out of it, you're not justified in feeling this way, you know, and that's not the kind of thing you want to say to a person who suffers from depression or anxiety or any other form of mental health. Again, because of the whole logic thing, you know, it's the overriding thing here is everything that people say, you know, we know these things, you don't have to tell us, but you know, because mental health isn't logical, we experience it anyway. You know, we know that life can be worth living, but because the depression is so real to us, we don't think it is. You know, we know things aren't completely terrible, but at the time, it is so real to us that we think that it is the end of everything. The last one that I want to talk about is the I know how you feel. That really rags me. Purely because every person's experience is different. I know you mean it. We know you mean it. But one person's experience of depression isn't the same as someone else's experience of depression. My experience of schizophrenia isn't the same as another person's schizophrenia. My social anxiety isn't the same as someone else's experience of social anxiety. Not only does it work on different levels, but just their experiences, their causes, you know, the things that made these mental health issues come to light. You know, that is unique to the individual. I have a friend, her name's Melanie, or Melanie. COVID has really hit her. At first, she was kind of like really panicky about it, and then she kind of accepted it. But through the whole mask thing, people having a go at her, people getting right up close to her, certain things have happened and given her experiences, and now she is so scared of the virus that she doesn't want to leave the house, because either she thinks the virus is going to get her, or the people that are around her in that street and in the shops that she goes to, that they are going to cause so much aggro that she doesn't want to deal with it. I don't know if she'd be okay with me telling her this. Obviously, I'm not giving out her last name. Just to keep a little bit of anonymity, or however you pronounce that word. But that's how it's affecting her. It's different people have different reactions to different things, and however you think you might be able to compare yourself to that person, you can't, because it isn't the same. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about. I've rumbled on now for 16, 17 minutes, giving you a few examples of things that I know you all mean well by when you say it, but really we don't need to hear it. We really don't. One, because it doesn't always come across as sincere. Two, because we already know it and don't need to hear it. And another is, we don't always believe you. It's a weird one, is the mental health thing. Just try to be a bit more thoughtful about when you're gonna say things to sufferers of mental health. Is it going to be taken constructively? Is it going to be taken deconstructively? Is it going to be taken positively? Is it going to be taken negatively? It's there, basically. And that has been my little mental breakdown for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up, a comment, a like, all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you all in another video. Bye.